Hello, I'm Geraldine Snell, you can call me Geri. Welcome to my studio, which is also my home office. I'm currently based in North London, but you might be able to hear from my accent that I'm originally from West Yorkshire, born and bred. Ultimately, I'm an interdisciplinary fine artist, writer, musician, working in varied solo, group, exhibition, screening, online, publishing contexts. Bit of a jack of all trades, really. Don't like to say master of none. That's the inner critic speaking. But yeah, I work in a range of media, really, across moving image, performance, music, the written word. I often start with myself in the here and now, sharing moments of sublime mundaneness, really. I'm very much interested in the domestic setting and the present, really, and what media, as in like film, performance, activating attention through use of media and sharing and creativity can do in terms of connection and increasing connection, attention. The works I'm sharing for the DocFest, including this one, dancing, were made at home in lockdown and reflect an increased attunement to the immediate environment, the present, the domestic home space. It kind of really playfully captures just a moment of sublime sunlight shining onto a flaking living room wall. So it's a fixed shot which documents the shadow of a door being abruptly opened, my hand dancing in the stream of sunlight on the wall, and my figure moving across the frame, my foot dancing in it even, and eventually the door being closed again. And it was one of the first works I made at the start of the COVID-19 lockdown. Obviously, April 2020 very much was adjusting to being at home all the time. I had been already making work about this kind of thing, but not specifically in a domestic context, although I do usually start there because a lot of my working methods come from just filming things around me.
That's actually like real.
And then sort of patching things together at a later date, or using maybe in the moment observations, script, text, images, video, to then like develop those into performances or musical scores, that kind of thing. I don't just make work necessarily thinking of like this is a piece in itself. I do think about where the audience are going to encounter it and the sort of situation that they're going to be in. A screenshot of it on IGTV, so you can imagine holding it in your hand. This is a context in which we use emojis, but it's kind of got these human eyes like blinking out of it in desperation, like this emoji is not adequate to connect in the way that I want to connect with you, viewer, at this moment. So look into my eyes, literally. Really amazing. I got an opportunity to show it through Circa 2020, which they kind of, as an initiative, trying to use the Piccadilly Lights big screen, biggest advertising screen in Europe, to showcase artwork that didn't have a commercial or advertising function. So that was the work up there. I think the focus really of the DocFest work is kind of light in a way. That's what I'm using as a starting point, or certainly I'm going to be doing a performance that uses the observation of light and then kind of attempts to attune us to that. Me where I am, you where you are. Basically, this piece, Smile 2019, was this is a 2-minute time lapse, but I did sort of sat in the sun for 35 minutes and smiled. Really, it was pretty painful. As you can see, the sun sort of passed across my face over the duration until, my face was looking more like this. So scary. Anyway, just to go back to the range of works in the series that I started in lockdown, I'd say maybe, where can we go? Right to the end. I called this series Light and Love. So dancing was definitely one of the first works in the series, but the first one was actually this video. So I made this video actually back in 2019. I was going to draw one day and realised that, like, what is the point? what is this impulse to capture and share that, and why do I want to, I can pay attention, I can be there with this beautiful sunlight that's shining onto this piece of paper, but yeah, where, then what? Why does there have to be an end point to that? A lot of these works were shared online. I share things on my Instagram feed a lot, so I share actual pieces, full duration pieces of work on IGTV, as well as other snippets, just kind of things from the studio. And I think you can probably see light theme here through a lot of it. But I really believe in intervening on like a social media feed with this stuff that's probably a little bit less zingy or commercial, more mumbly, really just like, the eyes blinking through the emoji. I think this is very much an epitome of, my presence in that space, and I'm really for it. Ultimate intention really is about maybe seeking a greater connection or quality of presence through making and sharing my work. It feels really necessary in the world today. We need to guard our attention. We need to be proactive and insistent with what we choose to focus on and prioritise, because digital devices offer us kind of constant distraction. They seduce us to stay on the screen, whether through entertainment, social media, work, porn, fast food, whatever it is, they're profiting from us being there essentially.
Gaze out of the window.
And I worry about what agency we have, how little control we have. I'm thinking a lot about light at the moment, whether electric light, through lights or digital devices. Is this enabler of overwork and oversaturation that sort of constantly makes us seek more and go further and do more? Not in a Luddite way, although my mind does often go back to a 1933 book called 𝗹𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁 Shadows by a Japanese author called Tanazaki. Sort of laments the quality of presence and acceptance that can be lost with the ubiquity of technology, and how technology encourages a kind of constant seeking or escape. Can one, as an artist, respond to and intervene in that without just contributing further to that oversaturation, or just being another content creator? And actually, is it possible to celebrate and create ritual? If light is scarce, then light is scarce. We will immerse ourselves in the darkness and there discover its own particular beauty. The progressive Westerner is determined always to better his lot. From candle to oil lamp to gaslight to electric light. His quest for a brighter light never ceases, and he spares no pains to eradicate even the minutest shadow. So, this idea of really being with what is, being with the darkness, being with the light, being whatever's there in the moment, something I'm feeling about a lot in relation to philosopher, father, thinker, Bayo Akomolafe's post-activism, the idea that constant action, striving, seeking, trying to change, trying to problem solve are all part of the human predicament and the problems that we face around the planet, and climate emergency. A lot of them come from our seeking, and our seeking to improve, and our seeking for future rather than being with what is, being with what's here and now. They say dopamine, the brain chemical hormone, stimulated with most of the stuff we see online. Even images, I think, probably activating our dopamine and sense of, I want to be there, I want to be other, I want to seek that reward. But dopamine is the molecule of more, so we always need more, whereas serotonin is the here and now hormone. So really, I'm thinking about how to sort of form rituals or celebrations, venerations, elevations of what's here already, through video, song, performance. Yeah, really hoping to share that love of the magic and mystery that's already with us. But hopefully something that I'm doing is emerging out of the screen and in a positive, warming, comforting, genuine way. Thank you for listening, watching, engaging, and enjoy the festival.